Welcome back to another magazine flick-through video, and we're looking at Mean Machines Sega again, but this time it is February 1994, issue number 16. Now it's pretty clear what the big feature is this month. It's Sonic 3, which was released, if I remember correctly, on the 28th of February 1994. So I'm not sure what day or date this came out, whether it was the beginning of the month or the middle, but after months of hype, you'd have been pretty excited at the time. I know I certainly was for Sonic 3. It was, for the Mega Drive owner, it was the biggest thing ever. Assuming you liked Sonic, that is. So what else have we got? We've got WWF Rage in the Cage. I think that's the Mega CD game. I've got that Mega CD. What else? We've got Eternal Champions on the Mega Drive. Greatest Heavyweights Boxing, Mutant League Hockey. Skitchin, the Mega CD, we've got Monkey Island, which is a great game. Ground Zero Texas, Battle Cores from Core Design, Double Switch, which was sort of a sequel to Night Trap, Donald Duck 2, which is a good game that's still in to get, Boogie Run, never heard of that one, and Road Rash on the Game Gear. I'm surprised that came out so late. So the key things are Eternal Champions and Sonic 3. So let's see what's in this issue. Gunship by US Gold. Haven't played that. I've heard reasonably good things about it. I think that was an Amiga conversion. So we've got the contents. Yeah, pretty clear. That's interesting. There's a feature on virtual racing, which was a big deal in '94. Editorial, Naval Command. Right. So what's in the news? Mortal Kombat 2. So these are some fairly, I suppose, dodgy photos taken with a camera, probably against an arcade machine. Show. What's this? Miniature Hardback TV repair. What is that? Don't remember that game. Yeah, I haven't played that. Yeah, Jurassic Park on the Mega CD. That's quite a nice game. It's quite slow paced, but I think the use of video works really well, and it's very much like Myst, Atlantis style games. But yeah, not too bad a game. Yeah, so this is Double Switch, which is more of the same, if you like Night Trap. I think the video quality was a little bit better on this one. I think that Sega, or was it Sega or was it Digital Pictures that developed it? Whoever developed the codec had improved it. I think they were using Cinepack at this point. I remember it being quite a big deal. Drop Zone, that's a good game, and another advert for Thunderhawk, which is a great game from Core. Cat's just gone out. More Codemaster news, tennis, Psycho Pinball, not a bad game. Dizzy. Yeah, is this the Dizzy that finally came out? It's Dizzy's Excellent Adventure. Yeah, the graphics look a bit different. That looks more like the Amiga game. Yeah, not the best of the Dizzy games. Gauntlet 4, which I looked at last time. Speech. What's this? Oh, this will be Chuck Rock 2, Son of Chuck, which is again another Amiga conversion to the Mega Drive and the Mega CD. Road Rash, Jimmy White's Whirlwind Snooker. That's a really great game. Yeah, Sherlock Holmes. I played the first one of those Sherlock Holmes games on the Mega CD, and yeah, not great. I prefer games like Gabriel Knight. And there was a Sherlock Holmes game on the PC in that style. Yeah, another F&V boxing game from Digital Pictures. I played the demo of that from Mega Power. It's okay, but I think they get a bit boring fairly quickly. Now, this is interesting. Work in progress games from Core Design. I mean, at this point, these guys really were at the top of their game, and you can see why Tomb Raider was such a success, because they just knew how to program the hardware really well and get the most out of it. And at this point, they'd made Jaguar XJ220, Thunderhawk, Battle Call, Soulstar, and BC Racers came out at the end, but they're still making Mega Drive games. For years I thought Skeleton Crew was vaporware. I thought it was canned. I never saw it for sale, but apparently it did come out. But it's not a very common game. So it's nice to see a lot of these games on how they're making them. So you see a lot of the artwork and how they're viewed in the editor, the paint package. Again with Soulstar, it's really nice to see all that, all the graphics, all the sprites. Marco's Magic Football. Again, you're seeing this, all the individual sprites and the level designs, which is quite cool. Vinnie Jones for Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I think this is where advertising for games really start to become serious, and you get these adverts on big billboards. So Sonic 3. So we've got Cartography Sonic 1. Yeah, Sonic 3 was, I don't know if it was delayed, but it didn't come out in November because you'd got summer, fall 91, 92 for Sonic 1 and 2, and Sonic CD and Sonic Chaos came out that time the next year, but we never had a Mega Drive game other than Sonic Spinball. So we had to wait until February for this, and Sonic 3 was cut down. It became 2 parts. There was this and Sonic and Knuckles with its lock-on power. But yeah, just a really great game. In the series, I prefer this one to Sonic 2. Just preference, really. I thought this felt a bit more, I don't know, a bit more polished in a way. Yeah, I mean the graphic style's really nice. It's clearly Sonic is, I think he's a CG sprite, but it's done better than was done with a lot of games. I think Donkey Kong Country got that style right as well, but I think Sonic's CG rather than hand-drawn. I might be wrong. Yeah. So it's nearly complete. Price was £60. It had a battery backup on it. No, sorry, I'm talking rubbish. It wasn't battery backup, it was flash. It was flash memory. Yeah, I don't think many Sega games had a battery in them. Although I think some of the EA games did. Zombies, which, yeah, I talked about before. More artwork sent in from fans. Yeah. Football. Huh. Yeah, Julian Rignall with an alien. Sonic. Yeah. Is this the same as what was shown before? No, different games. I think it was beat 'em ups they were showing in last month's Dixon's advert. Yeah, Aladdin, great game. Yeah, I think that was reviewed last issue, wasn't it? Gunstar Heroes. Yeah, all really good games here. Yeah, more tips. Gods, which was my last uploaded gameplay video. Pretty good conversion from the Amiga there. PGA 2. Yeah, I remember back in the day playing PGA 2 and thinking it's not that different from the first game. But I think this was fairly common with EA, that often their sequels were quite, or annual sequels were quite incremental. There wasn't a big difference for the most part. Yeah, Powermonger, another Amiga conversion. This is in my list of Amiga conversions that I want to cover, but I want to do a bit more of a tutorial video on this because it's quite involved and it's quite difficult to play once, well, before you've got used to it. It's like Populous. Once you've learnt the controls and the system, it's really fun, but it takes a long time to get used to it. So I'll cover that in Populous, probably in slightly longer videos. Sonic 2, that's the Master System, and those are the Mega Drive shots, so more tips. Yeah, okay. There for the Master System, those tips, not the Mega Drive. Awesome Possum, 39%. Doesn't look bad, but... Oh yeah, this was... Yeah, I saw a gameplay of this a few months back. It's a bit like Sonic in the way that it plays, but it's not very good. Pele Soccer looks a bit like FIFA with its 45-degree perspective, but clearly not the best games. I'm not a massive sports and football fan, so I never really gave it a try. Yep, so we're now looking at this advert that will be shown for months and months and months, I think these were all the games. There were normally 4 games that got advertised, and then there's probably an advert for Lethal Enforcers. Yeah, the Castlevania game and Probotector weren't out at this point, I don't believe. Eternal Champions, so this is the review. Price TBA by Sega. Now, considering this magazine isn't the official Sega magazine, they're not biased. And these screenshots look really nice. I had a quick skim through this magazine, so I know the score. It's 97%. Is it really worth that? It says it's at least as good as Street Fighter 2. I don't know. I played this game, I've got this game, and it's pretty cheap now on the Mega Drive. But I don't know. I think it's just the difficulty's so hard that I think the mechanics are okay. It's fine. It's just the difficulty's so hard to get into. I don't find it as enjoyable as Street Fighter 2, but you may beg to differ. Yeah, they like the special moves. I mean, there is a lot in it. There's a lot of special moves to do. They're just really quite hard. Yeah, super very hard indeed. Yeah, nice looking game at least. Monkey Island on the Mega CD. Yeah, this was one that I don't think was sold in quite very large numbers at the time. I never saw this on the Mega CD. I had one at this point, and I loved the game on the ST. And if I'd have seen this, I'd have bought the game. I just never saw it for sale. I mean, the graphics on it look as good as the Amiga version. I don't know if it's a talkie game where you get an audio, spoken word. Because I remember Monkey Island 3, The Curse of Monkey Island, being the first one that had spoken word. But I don't know if this did. Yeah. And the characters don't speak. Yeah, okay, so this isn't a talkie game. Lucas Arts, I think it was after Indiana Jones, was starting to make talkie versions on the PC, but I don't think this one did. So it's quite an odd choice then. I'm surprised it didn't just come out on cartridge. But 90%, it really is a great game, and you've probably already heard of this if you've got an Amiga or a PC. Well, everyone's got a PC now. PC back in the day. Dashing Desperados. It's from Data East, so this is a Japanese import. Don't think this came out in the West, but it looks quite a nice, quirky platformer, 75%. So, yeah, probably quite average then. Didn't get bad playability. Yeah, it's probably okay. Might be a hidden gem. Boxing Legends of the Ring, 40%. They didn't like that, did they? Nice big sprites though. Yeah, this looks like the Evander Holyfield. I think this is a sequel to that. Very similar artwork style. Yeah, the character was blue. I don't remember why that happened on it, but I don't know if the character was losing or had nearly been knocked out, they went blue. I can't remember. Yeah, 76%. And a weird joypad with 2 extra buttons. Programmed moves. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you probably programmed your Street Fighter moves in there. A bit cheaty, but there you go. Microcosm on the Mega CD. So this was a Psygnosis game again. It was on the Amiga CD32 and the PC as well. And there may have even been a 3DO version and a CDI one. It's 3D backgrounds like Sylpheed, and you've got simple sprites over the top, but these were more CGI style than polygon CGI style, which is what Sylpheed used. So it had very few colours, whereas these were texture mapped graphics that were streamed as video, and the colour depth, or the lack of colour depth, really does show here. You can see a lot of this colour banding. But yeah, not bad. I played this on a demo from a magazine. It's okay. It's not the best of shoot 'em ups. Deep Duck Struggle. Deep Duck Trouble. Try saying that a few times fast. Yeah, quite a late game for the Master System and the Game Gear. I really want to get hold of this. I quite like the Lucky Dime Caper. And this looks like a pretty good follow-up. So, I mean, graphics 90%. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's almost as good as, I'm thinking games like World of Illusion and Castle of Illusion. It's not far off it from the Mega Drive. Yeah, pretty good games. Probably quite rare now. I don't see them making many copies. Rage in the Cage on the Mega CD. I think this is the one I've got. I don't think I've ever played it. I got it with a bundle years ago. Yeah, it doesn't have a label on the spine, so it's a bit of an oddity when it sits in the collection on the shelf. It's a bit like Alien 3. There's a misprint on it. 87%. So it looks like it's just an expanded version of the Mega Drive game, the WWF. Boogie Run. Don't know much about this one. It looks okay. Printing mistake there. Overall, can we guess, on average? So I'd probably say that's about 65% or thereabouts. Another Mega CD game, Chuck Rock 2. And there's a comment here saying that it doesn't really use the hardware much or at all, other than the video and the CD soundtrack. But it's a decent game. Yeah, 89%. Yeah, didn't have anything bad to say about it. Winter Olympics on the Mega Drive. Yeah, the Master System game was the one I played back in the day. Quite fun to play. What did the Mega Drive one get? 73%. Dodgy sound, although it didn't get any negative comments. Playability. Yeah, too much practice, it says. Yeah, a lot of adverts in this issue. Ground Zero Texas preview. I like this game. It's kind of a guilty pleasure. I don't really like FMV games, but I think Sylpheed was good because the FMV was just in the background. But with this, think of it like a light gun game. I'm not sure if this is based on an arcade game like, what was it called? Mad Dog McCree. It's that kind of game, but these enemies pop up and you're shooting them. I think you can even use the Menacer with this, or the Justifier. But it works. It's like a really cheesy B-movie, but the gameplay sections are fun. And you get these cameras, so yeah, it's kind of like the best of both. The things that worked in Night Trap, but also this light gun style, or you play it with the joypad. It's a really good bad game, if that makes sense. Now I've got my hand at a weird angle, can't turn the pages. Virtua Racing preview. Yeah, this came out in '94. I forget when this came out, but this was a big deal because it used Sega's SVP, the Sega Virtual Processor, which was really Sega's equivalent of the Super FX chip. So it was a DSP that helped with a lot of the maths and the rendering, and it just rendered all the polygons essentially. So they're commenting about the Super FX and how it compares. So yeah, you got your different views. Interesting. Yeah, so it's saying that Gus commented at Sega that there's a mirror mode, and that Sega claimed that they didn't know what that was. This would have been Sega Europe. So this mode was, it's still in the game now, that once you finish the game you get the mirror mode and left becomes right and right becomes left. It just mirrors all the courses, which was quite fun. Yeah, $34.99. It wasn't. I don't know why they said that, because that's cheap even at the time. This was 70 quid when it came out because of the extra hardware, and this is where the 32X came from, because it was so expensive to make this game. I don't know how well it sold, and I remember hearing about Virgin Media at the time. They wouldn't sell it in their shops because it was too expensive. I think it was Retroballs who did a video on that. He was talking about how his local store had a sign up saying they wouldn't sell it. Yeah, I think it was him who mentioned that. Probably because they didn't make much profit off it, but yeah, 70 quid. too much money for a game, but now it's pretty cheap. It's worth picking up. Skitchin, yeah, a game that is really it's the Road Rash engine, but a different style of games. I couldn't get into it. A friend of mine had it. Wasn't really my thing. Bubba and Sticks, so it looks like an adventure platformer game. Don't know much about that. What's this? Star is Laid. Outrageous Mr. Jobby. I have no idea what that is. Used to be a Shakespearean act. I don't know. Looks like one of Mark's Facebook messages with his birthday shit, which is good karma instead of having a shitty birthday. If you get one of these sent, it prevents you from having that. So there you go. More weird control pads. These are these programmable ones. That looks like quite a nice stick. Yeah, that'll be Super Nintendo, and that one is as well. Yep. So how much is the Mega Drive? Same price with Aladdin, £112. So it's coming down in price again and again and again. They were selling them for about 90 quid in mid '94. Yeah. So this is Mean Machines Sega from February. Some pretty good games in there. I think there's a lot of padding in this issue. I think as the year progressed, there were some really good games coming out, but I always thought that January, February was a little bit quiet. The other game that's worth getting a hold of that came out, I believe, the same day as Sonic 3 was the treasure game Dynamite Headdy, but there's no mention of it in this. So, quite surprised with that, but there are a lot of good games coming out in '94, and I think we'll just have to wait and see what March brings us. So the other magazines I've got for this month are the issue 2 of the official Sega magazine, which is kind of similar to Mean Machines. It's from the same publisher, but a few different games and a few exclusives in there. And the other one is a copy of Edge, which was looking at the 32-bit machines and what was going to come out that year and what worked and what failed. So yeah, looking forward to covering those. I'll probably do, as I mentioned in the previous video, I'll probably put one of those out in the week so that we're not spending too long on February, so we can get onto the March and future issues. So yeah, looking forward to that. I'll leave it there. So thanks very much for watching, and in the week the gameplay videos will be more Amiga conversions to the Mega Drive.